Hey gamers, Gecko here. With Tokyo Game Show happening right now and Marble Tokon having a booth at the event, we have of course been given some new footage on the game, mostly relating to a new stage, as well as the two playable characters that weren't in the closed beta test, being GHOSTRIDER and Spiderman. Thankfully for us, we don't have to go dredging through the depths of Twitter, because Marble Tokon kindly released some gameplay footage of the new characters right as the event kicked off. We won't be just playing the whole thing here, we're going to be dissecting it and finding out little bits of information about the characters. If you'd like to check out the full raw gameplay footage, it will be down below to the official channel that posted it. I know a lot of people have been re-uploading this thing and not giving credit, so I want to try and be a little bit better. I would say their name, but it's fully in Japanese, and I don't speak Japanese, so little bit of a problem for me. To begin with though, somebody took a very nice picture of both of the move lists for GHOSTRIDER and Spiderman. As you can see, they follow the same type of move list that everyone else does. One 50-meter super, one 100-meter super, 4 special moves, and then a unique action that's different between the characters. Spider-Man looks a little bit more complicated, but trust me, it's very easy once we break it down. So, let's start with GHOSTRIDER, because there's a lot of interesting things here, and I feel like he's getting overlooked compared to our web-slinging friend over there. I have good news to report. GHOSTRIDER is not Axel Low. He actually seems to be more of a mid-range brawler character, using his sickles to swing around instead of throwing them out and pulling them back. A lot of his attacks don't seem to have any crazy range on them, which is very good for me, somebody who hates zoners. But he does have a very interesting, unique mechanic. As you can see at the bottom left of the screen, he has a gauge that fills over time, sort of like a pressure meter or a speed indicator. This is his overheat mechanic. The more fire moves that GHOSTRIDER uses, the more the overheat gauge fills. The gauge slowly depletes over time, however, using certain special moves actually causes it to deplete way faster. When the gauge is higher, it increases in levels, which makes me think he gets better versions of his special moves. It's kind of hard to tell from the gameplay segments that we have. However, it looks like his moves either get bigger or do more damage. One of his moves that he uses is him swinging his sickle in the air and it catching fire. And not only does the initial hit have more hits when he does it in level 3, it seems to be physically bigger. But then again, I might just be gaslighting myself. Still, the higher his heat gauge is, the better his moves are. However, there is a caveat. He can overheat. If he uses too many fiery attacks, he'll go into overheat and be forcibly stunned for a couple of seconds. Now, I'm sure some of you are drawing parallels to other games, other mechanics, but I will tell you exactly where this mechanic is ripped from. Basically, wholesale, this is RoboKai. This is Robert. He has an overheat mechanic where he has to expend his heat, otherwise he goes into a stunned-like state, aka explodes. Granted, he doesn't have the meter shenanigans of RoboKai, and it doesn't seem like his special moves are affected as drastically. Unfortunately, from what I can tell, the supers don't interact with his heat gauge at all. They basically just pause it for the entire cinematic, so you can't even get the slow decrease over time, which kind of sucks. His special moves are quite hard to distinguish. I wouldn't be able to say which is which just from looking at the names and looking at what they do. But he seems to have a pretty good anti-air, a fire carpet, and a fire spit breath, which are probably useful for pressure and setups. A big sickle swing that he uses in the air. And I'm not sure what the last one is. Still though, he looks pretty cool and he looks way more interesting than I was giving him credit for. Now, on to the one that I'm really excited about. Our web-slinging boy, Spider-Man. To begin with, Spider-Man has a unique movement mechanic, being an 8-way web swing. You press the direction, you press the unique attack, Spider-Man fires a web in that direction, and he's able to travel to it by following it up. According to the move list, you can apparently change the trajectory by holding up, so imagine if you web zip forward and then hold up, he bounces out of it, kind of like May Dolphin. But he also has different things that he can do if it connects with the opponent. Obviously, he can travel to the web, but he also has the option to fire out another web and slam the opponent into the ground by pressing back and U. It's very cool. He seems very fast, but also it's obviously a very linear move that gets him across the screen. I imagine you're going to want to pair this with an assist or just use it in combos. It seems like a very good combo extender tool. There's bits in the trailer where he fires the web down and then flies to it with a web kick, and he's able to combo from that with an assist. so it's probably going to be used in his B&Bs quite a bit, and definitely in his more advanced combos. It also seems that the pull that he has can be cancelled. He does have 4 special moves. The flip upwards kick that we've seen before seemingly doesn't break the wall anymore. However, it can be comboed from pretty reliably. From looks at it though, if you want to break the wall with Spidey, you have to use the web zip. So you fire the web forward and you fly forward and knock them through the wall. I think this is a nicer change, giving you more options to use things in the corner instead of just using them. It may also be that the ones that put you in the air don't break the wall and the light version on the ground does. We'll see though. He has counter on Spidey Sense, and this can actually be comboed from seemingly in multiple ways. One of the counters puts Spidey behind the opponent and then he kicks them forward, and he's able to combo from that raw. However, one of them ends with him in the air, and he calls an assist, a combo from it. I imagine all of the versions can be comboed from using some kind of resource, or maybe the medium one that, like, puts you behind can just straight up be comboed from no matter what. And if that's the case, that's fucking sick and evil. I love it. Obviously, he has Web Shot, which seems to be his projectile. We're not really going to talk about this very much. But he also has Web Bomb, which he throws on the opponent and then puts them in a cocoon-like state for a little bit. A second Boo Fat Toss has hit Marvel Tokon. This seemingly works like Star-Lord's grenade, but it hits way closer to the ground. I imagine that means it's going to be easier to use in combos, but you're still probably going to use it for setups like you would with Star-Lord's grenade. And that's just about everything I could decipher for both characters. There seems to be a couple of universal mechanic changes, but I'm not sure if I'm just gaslighting myself because I haven't played the game in a bit, or if things have definitely been changed. I don't know, though. Let me know if you noticed anything that I didn't in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to be streaming tonight. We're going to be playing a fighting game, probably 2XKO, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm sorry for not uploading yesterday. I was very sick. I had a terrible headache. I had migraines the whole day, and I just couldn't get anything done. So tonight's stream is going to be my apology for that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tonight on the Twitch. If I don't, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can boost this channel up and stay in touch with any Marvel Tokon news that happens. See you all later. Bye-bye!